Kwame, I realized I'm going to ask you this question, but it's probably going to be really hard, but you're going to try your best. 1,600 episodes. What has been an insight that made you change, whether it's the way you negotiate or you live your life? Like, what has been one of the most impactful things that you've learned, like throughout talking and learning from so many people?
Hmm. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one. I need to be able to say it respectfully. Okay, so when it comes to this, this was one of the most incredible things that I've discovered because I've had some of like the biggest names in negotiation have come on the podcast, right? And brilliant, brilliant, brilliant people. And I do not want to take away from that. And there are a lot of people who are unknowns. I want to have as much diversity as possible on the podcast. So different people might not even be in negotiation itself, but they have a lot to add, right? But let's just focus on the core of negotiation expertise. What I've
Mm.
found is that there is a very small difference, or I mean, okay, why am I sugarcoating this? There's essentially no difference in the quality of negotiation expert from somebody who has a really, really big name and somebody who is completely unknown. That was fascinating. Like there's you once you get past the being starstruck that there's a negotiation legend in front of you and you just listen to the tools and techniques, which are stellar, you recognize that they're not necessarily more stellar than anybody else's negotiation techniques. They are just better branded, more well known, and they have more marketing and more lore behind it. So it really was a very interesting exploration into the concept of thought leadership as a whole. And I recognize that, and you'll love this, Howie, because thought leadership isn't about substance. It's more about branding. It's more about bias. It's more about the stories. And it made me realize that everything is placebo. Like there was a study where they had people in an fMRI machine, so they could see what was happening in their brains, and they had them rate these different wines, these two wines. One wine was like $500 wine, the other wine was $5 wine, and I'm sure you know where I'm going with this,
Speaking to my heart, buddy. Speaking
right?
to my heart.
So they tasted the $500 wine. You see more brain activity, and they're like, "Yes, this wine is better." They taste the $5 wine, they're like, "Ooh, no, this wine isn't good." And you see the brain activity; it corresponds with their experience. But the punchline is, it's the exact same wine. They just believe one is more expensive, so they believe it is going to be better. And so that's when I really started to make a turn because I was playing this game of meritocracy where I say, all right, cool. I'm going to read one book a week. I'm going to take pages of notes on it. My goal was read a book a week, read it at 3 times speed, take as many notes as possible, review the notes as an MP3 file. So every day when I was good and ready to go to the gym, I'm not listening to music. I'm reviewing book notes, so I could quote everybody. I was just focusing so heavily on getting better, getting better, getting better, getting better. Then I realized I don't need to get better anymore. I need to become better at marketing and branding. And then when I started to turn that corner and focus on the marketing and branding, that's when the business started to take off. So the biggest takeaway is that when it comes to success in the world, there's a baseline level of intelligence and substance that you need to have. And you can get to that point pretty quickly. After that, it's the stories that you tell about yourself and whether or not you can get the world to believe.
That's a big unlock, Kwame. That's a huge unlock. And it's a huge opportunity for anyone,
Yeah.
really, anybody,
Yes.
right? I mean, we all have, I mean, it is the authority bias, isn't it? Anybody that's way higher in the status ladder, you kind of view them as, gods almost. You put them on a
Yes.
pedestal. But I think even Obama said this, when you sit down with the world leaders in the same room, you start to understand that you have a seat at the table when you're there. And everybody is the same. I mean, we're humans. We make mistakes. We all put on our pants one leg at a time. And so there shouldn't be this big, like, oh my God, I can never get there. Or, oh my God, they're so brilliant. They are brilliant, but they're closer to you than you think.
Exactly. And that was huge. That was huge for me. And yeah, and I think everybody in their own way can learn a lot from this. whether it's in your own life. It changed the way that I started marketing at home to my own family. I don't know about you, but my immigrant mother is often concerned about the status of my finances. I'm just like, I'm doing well, mom. Like, what do I need to achieve? Okay.
The perception. You need to get the perception of whatever it is that she thinks you need to have.
You know
Yeah.
how it is, the immigrant mentality, lawyer, doctor. You were a lawyer. Now what is this? You know? So, so I realized that, oh, there's a lot that I know about my business that my family doesn't know. So I started marketing to them, telling them more about the wins and talking about giving them like updates as if they were investors. Now they feel a lot more secure. It's not that anything changed in the business. I just started to market myself better. Right. And so when I started to recognize that, it helped me to start to play a different game, and it is recognizing that both style and substance have a place. But now, honestly, if it comes to the level of success that I want to have, if I was forced to choose one, I think style gets you more success. And it's bro, this is coming from somebody who has 3 degrees. I was playing the game, quote, "the right way," and then to realize, like, there's another side to this that is significantly more determinative in terms of your stature and achievement. It was jarring. It was a realization that I did not want to have, but, yeah, I know there are people who follow me who are like, "Oh, man, things really took a turn in at a certain time. Like, things are really picking up because I started to learn how to play the real game. It's not a meritocracy. There's no such thing."
Like you said, you have to reach some sort of a level of the work and you understand the substance.
Yeah.
And then at every level that you go from there, you're playing a different game. You're layering on a different skill to get higher. But if you keep playing the same game, you're going to stay in the same game